Yeah, I know Aaron, I can't remember which episode it was, but he talked a lot about that, Aaron Witt, about, hey, like as a business owner, like you do need to like pull yourself back a little bit and get your head above water and look around and be like, okay, where are we going next? Or what's our next play, or what's our next strategy? Who are our people? What's our culture? And a lot of people don't want to hear that. They don't love that idea. They love being the operator. And I think there are ways around that. You can bring somebody in, or maybe it's your significant other that kind of handles more of the business admin, business development. So I think there's definitely ways around it where there are true operators out there that will always be operators and that won't ever change. But I do think it's very important to, yeah, pull yourself back, take a look around, work on the business, not in the business. For me, it's one day a week. Thursdays are my CEO days. No matter what, I just try and cancel all my meetings and I am working on the business, because then we can make pivots. We can think about podcast topics. We can take a look at our finances, trim the fat, things like that. Also add some fat. I mean, we don't talk enough about that. We do some things that a lot of businesses would say is stupid, is very questionable, is a waste of money, but we're in it for the long haul too. So I just call it adding fat. Like there's definitely some cuts we need to make, but at the same time too, I'm like, I'm not planning for year 3. I'm planning for year 5, year 10, and where we want to be.
No, definitely. There was a guy in Fargo. He was probably he was easily probably one of the wealthiest guys in Fargo. He was our neighbor at the lake. And I remember we would have him over. My parents love the guy, super nice guy. And he would the first thing he would say, doesn't matter who you were, but you would hey, how you doing? His name was Ace. Ace, how you doing? How you been? He goes, good. And then he'd look at you and he'd say, are you writing down your goals? And like you wouldn't be talking about anything about goals. But that was the first thing that he would ask you. And you're like, no, we're here to have some steaks, but do you want me to write down my goals? But he was so religious on writing down his goals.
Yeah.
And like he was, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, write those down. Cause and I remember I got into him one night. We were out on the water. We had a couple cocktails in us. And again, whenever I have a couple cocktails, I just fully unloaded on him on questions.
Yeah.
And I remember he was like, Luke, you got to visualize, what you're doing. The only way you can visualize it is if you're writing them down. If you're writing them down, then you see them. I said, oh, see right there. Bingo. Luke's writing them down.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Got it posted up.
Dude, it like straight up. And I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. And then I remember, and for anybody that hasn't, and I don't know, this is kind of controversial as far as like the belief side, but he told me to watch, it's called The Secret. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Watch it. After we get off the podcast, I want you to watch it and I want your feedback about it. I'm not going to say what I thought of it. I'm not going to say what it's about. I just want you to watch it and let me know what you think, because it had some really good points, and I'm not going to say which ones, because again, it is a little,
dude, you're giving me too much already.
Yeah, it is a little controversial, depending on what your beliefs are. But all I'm saying is watch it. So
yeah, no, huge. I mean, I'm not like, I shouldn't say that. I struggled with writing my goals down. I think I was always goal oriented, but I'm not like super analytical. But what I've learned is what gets measured gets accomplished. And yeah, write down your goals. And so this year I've been working hard on that. It's just writing them down, because then I have to look at it every day. And I'm very competitive. So I think I just hate, losing. And so I look at it, I'm like, damn, I should just get that done and cross it off. But if anyone's looking for a little bit of framework, I have a quick tip here. I use 6 different categories for my goals. It helps me break it out. And I just do one goal for each one. Keeps it super simple. I've got physical goals, relational goals, career goals, financial goals, environmental goals, and spiritual goals. For me, those 6, it just kind of helps me break it out. It can be anything you want inside that, but that way I'm like working on one of those 6 throughout the year. And and I know if I complete all 6 of those, I had a pretty damn good year.
Really good year. Then it's time to fucking draw bigger goals if you're completing those in 1 year, right?
The BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal. You got to have one of those.
You got to have it to where it almost scares the shit out of you.